What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome into the group chat. This is Group Chat Sports. I'm Peter Ariz alongside my buddy Chase Romero. It was a great weekend, Chase. 11-5 on our first set of picks. You came very close to hitting the lotto as well. Hopefully we keep it going here as we got some games, some midweek games here in the Premier League.
Yeah, man, we had a great weekend. Actually just one Newcastle goal away from having an insane weekend. It was barred off in the 90th minute. And in general, most of our thoughts, everything that we were thinking kind of, came through.
Yeah, we hit a couple big ones there. Mateta plus 175, anytime goal scorer to me. I mean, like I said, he had scored now in 7 of his last 11 matches, right? And has 10 games in that span. So pretty crazy output from him recently. That Wolves Palace game,
yeah,
we were over 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been all over Palace lately, and we'll see if they can keep it going here at the end of the season. But it was a good first weekend. Have an interesting slate of games midweek here. So let's get right into it with a game that is a must-win, obviously, for Man City. In this game today, 3 o'clock, this is Tuesday morning now as we're recording this. So I have our picks here underneath on the screen. And really, it's an interesting one, Chase, right? Because you know that City's going to come out with everything that they have. And I have this one as City and over 3.5 goals plus 115. City scored 4 goals in 4 of their last 5 games. So they could do this alone, but we understand the style of football that Tottenham plays. They've been beaten up and battered, right? But they're still going to put their best foot forward. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I think, you have a great pick. It's going to be a good game. There's going to be goals. Like you said, the whole entire DNA of Ange Postecoglou.
I think you got it right the first time. You got it right the first time, Postecoglou.
Yeah. His whole DNA of his teams is attack. They're going to try to score goals. They don't care if they're losing or not. So that's kind of why I like both teams to score in over 2.5. At minus 165, I think they're both going to score. There's going to be goals. Can City pull it off? I think, yeah. They're the best team in the league, probably top team in the world between them and Real Madrid. But I don't know. 2 days rest, 3 days rest. They're on the road. They could be tired. They could slip up. So I'm not 100% sure City's going to win. So I'm just going for the goals and both teams to score. So either way, I think your bet is great too. It's just I'm going more on the safer side. So let's see how it goes. Should be a fun one today.
We know these Arsenal fans are going to be rooting for Tottenham, which is not a normal occurrence in any stretch there, but should be a really good match there. So moving along here tomorrow, have a couple interesting ones. We'll start with Brighton-Chelsea. I'm taking Brighton double chance minus 130 here. Obviously, good showing for them this weekend, getting a draw at St. James's Park. But this is more so because I'm fading Chelsea. Chelsea, has been on a good stretch, three wins in a row here. But to me, they haven't not won 4 games in a row all season long. I don't see that happening here. This, home game for Brighton, tough place to play, potentially end of the De Zerbi era. They have, one more game at home here after this one, but I'm liking that double chance at minus 130.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick too. But I just think, like I said last week, Brighton's offense is horrible. Their defense has been better. And Chelsea on the road hasn't been great. So I don't know. I don't know who's going to win. I like your bet, but I'm just going to go for under the goals, 3.5. I think that's a lot of goals for the team. They score 4, you lose. I don't see 4 here. So I'm going for under 3.5. And I think, Chelsea has been scoring goals, but again, they're on short. It's not like they played 3 days ago. They're not. Yeah. They haven't been well rested. There might be rotation. And Brighton really isn't playing to win anything. They don't have a chance at Europe. They don't have a chance. They're just sitting in the middle of the standings right now. So I could see them scoring 0 or maybe 1. You know, so it could be a 2-1 Chelsea. It could be a 1-1 tie. It could be a 0-0 tie. I just don't see them going over 3.5 goals here.
Should be an entertaining one, though, for sure, as we keep it moving here. Also, another game tomorrow, Man U, Newcastle. And this is an interesting one, again, because both sides here have a lot to play for. Newcastle sitting in that 6th spot right now, trying to hold Chelsea off. They have them, on goal differential right now, and then Man U right behind them. And obviously, if Man U were to get the 3 points here, it would be, it would get them right into the mix there for Europe. But I have Newcastle in this one, and over 1.5 Newcastle goals at -115. I think that, again, this is a team that we understand Callum Wilson, Isak may not be available. They did not train yesterday. But listen, Man U's battered as much as anyone right now. I think Ten Hag is about to lose his job there.
Yeah,
and
embarrassing by them lately.
Yeah, it's been bad. I mean, it's been obviously a horrible stretch for them the last few years. But I just think this is a Newcastle side that didn't get the job done over the weekend. Really wanted the 3 points there, but this is, again, more so me fading Man U than anything else.
Yeah, and we both got Newcastle here. I mean, we both had Newcastle on the weekend. They lost for us, so we're just going to keep going back to the well, though. We both know how good Newcastle is, and how bad Manchester United is. The injuries. They're playing Casemiro at center back again, and he's just getting absolutely shredded every time he plays in center back. And I have Newcastle in under 4.5 goals. I think it could be a little bit closer than people think, but I think Newcastle will pull it out, and that's juicy, so juicy to me. They have to score 5 total for this to lose, and it's at +250. I mean, to me, those are great odds, So, like you said, Newcastle, they're just a better team, hands down, especially with Man United, all their injuries. And there's a lot of controversy going over there. Is this like a black, dark cloud over Man United right now? I don't know. I don't see them having the will to win this game.
It's the Ten Hag Ronaldo curse.
Yeah, that's what it is. Ever since he kicked them out, they've been going downhill. You don't treat the GOAT like that, pretty much.
Well, listen, it's a fun one, though, because, again, it doesn't have the top of the table implications that the City game has, right? And obviously Arsenal still has another one to play here, a couple more to play here. One more, excuse me. But it's fighting for those mid-table positions, fighting for Europe, right? So
yeah, that's a beautiful thing about the Premier League. There's always, down to the last week, there's battles for every single spot, and even the relegation zone, there's a battle this weekend. So there's always something to fight for, even if you're not at the top of the league. That's what makes it great.
So we have some bonus picks here. You actually went outside of Europe for your pick, but piggybacking off of what we were just talking about, I have Anthony Gordon here to score +220. Look, he's so involved in everything they do. We don't know I'll tell you right now, I probably don't expect Wilson to play, just because that's how, that's the trend with him, right?
He's been made out of glass this year.
Yeah. I mean, when he's healthy, he's great, but you just can't count on him. And then Isak, hopefully, was just a precautionary thing. But even if he does play, I like Gordon's involvement, up that left flank. I think +220, great value. Hey, listen, I hit my bonus bet last weekend with the over in the Arsenal Man U corners.
Beautiful call.
Hit by, it was over 10.5, hit 11. So, it was a close one there.
You're sweating that one down to the last minute, pretty much.
Yeah. So again, +220, Anthony Gordon to score.
Yeah, and I love that bet too. I mean, again, if even if these guys are out, if they're not out, if they're in, I mean, Anthony Gordon just involved with everything. And if Isak's out, I just feel like he has even more better chance to score, especially versus that leaky Man United D. And for me, I went outside of the Premier League. I'm going with some MLS picks here. Our local team, Inter Miami. And honestly, their last, I think it was 5 games, they've won this way. Both teams have scored. Inter Miami wins. Their defense pretty much shambolic. Their goalkeeper, Calendar, he's just letting in at least one, like, just baffling goal a week. Like, it's all his fault, So their defense is not great, but they are scoring, and obviously they've got the guys to score. They've got Luis Suarez, who's hot right now, and obviously Messi, who's able to set him up and get him into positions. And their offense of firepower is just great. And they're playing versus Orlando City, which is a rival. And I think that for that price, it's pretty juicy. It's worth a little sprinkle on top for plus 240, man. Like,
yeah, no, that's a big number.
They've won 5 games in a row. I mean, and every time Messi and Suarez play together, they're scoring goals. So I don't know.
Yeah, they were down 2-0 last game and come back and win
3-2. Yeah. And this is closer to home. It's not like so far of travel, So I don't know. I think they can keep it going, and we see some fireworks.
See some magic once again. So let's get to. I like to think this is the most exciting part of the show. We're only on show number 2 here at Group Chat Sports.
So close last time, dude.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was very close, but that's the fun about lottos, right, Chase? I mean, you sprinkle it and watch the show take off, right? So you have another one here lined up, and I'll let you go through your picks here and explain them.
Yeah. So our parlay lotto of the week this week, for the 2 games Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to start with over 10.5 corners from Spurs and Man City. Again, offensive game. Ainge likes to, push his team forward. Man City is going to control the game, try to control the game their way. There's going to be a ton of shots both ways. Just see that 10.5 corners as almost being a lock. Especially Spurs. I mean, I checked Spurs last 6-7 games. They've all gone way over the 10.5. And I think that's a good bet right there. We start with that, and then we go on to KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, assist. Right now, he's got the 2 best weapons up front. He's got Phil Foden, and he's got Erling Haaland, and those 2 guys score goals like crazy, and he's putting in the balls for them to score. So if Tottenham, which I'm guessing Tottenham gives up 2 or 3 goals, I feel like KDB will be involved at least 1 assist to those.
And he can't be too happy after hearing the MLS rumors yesterday. He wants to show he can still play at this level.
He's not going to MLS. He's too good still. I think
not yet, at least.
We think Saudi. I think Saudi, probably El Ittihad.
Well, we'll keep it moving here. Another corners pick here is you have over 5.5 Newcastle corners.
Yeah, and I went with the team corners here just because Peter put that little idea in my head last week of the Arsenal Man United. Man United's defense just so leaky. I just see like Newcastle pressing forward, and Newcastle wants to win. They want to stay in that spot, So I just see them pushing forward and getting as many shots as they want on this team. Their defense is just easy to overcome. So 5.5 doesn't seem like that hard to reach for me, and I think they get it pretty easily, maybe in the first half, honestly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So your next one here, after he let you down over the weekend, you're going right back to the well, which is a pick that I just had as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about it earlier, but Anthony Gordon to score. Newcastle needs goals, and he's gonna be the guy that they go through this weekend. So I see him. I mean, if he doesn't get a goal, he's going to have at least 3, 4, 5 shots, So we're betting on that to happen there.
And then rounding out the lotto again, lotto pretty much for us, in our opinion, anything over plus 1,000 odds. this is coming in at plus 6,921. And the last pick of this lotto, you have Brighton under half a goal. You hit, I believe, Sheffield under half a goal in your last lotto. So listen, I have Brighton double chances as my pick for that game. So it would hopefully for both of us, like I said, need a 0-0 draw here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I said Brighton, their offense hasn't been great. Chelsea's defense actually has improved lately. And they brought back Reece James recently. He came off the bench. They're getting some health back on their back line. I just think, again, this is kind of a long odds. I think it's around plus 330. But it makes the lotto a little more juicier. And, if we hit, we hit. I mean, it's still a long shot. You sprinkle something small, $2, $5, $10. But I don't know. I could see Brighton not scoring, So I just think plus 330 is just too juicy.
Well, listen, Joao Pedro, doesn't look like he's going to play.
Their injuries are horrible. Yeah. Like you said, Joao Pedro out. Honestly, they're down to like third or fourth string guys in the front. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, they could score. I mean, they scored the weekend, but it wasn't impressive or anything.
Well, the beauty of these lottos, Chase, is you can also look at this as a guide, right? If you're putting these together, use it as a guide. If you think Brighton's going to score a goal, leave it out, and you'll still have pretty high odds. It's still a lotto at that point, or you can throw something else in there that you like. But
yeah, you could argue if you think Brighton's going to score, just put it over half a goal.
Right.
I mean, do whatever. You could always play with it. Also, like it is Tuesday. This game is on Wednesday. The lineups are going to come out like an hour before. Usually I suggest I wouldn't put the lotto in until the lineups come out, just so you could,
Richarlison last week, got injured the morning of training there. So
he was out. So we you could have just interchanged people or just leave them out, just depending how much risk you want to take, or how big you want your lotto. You could add more too, but this is just a good basis, I think. And these are picks that I feel strongly about, for this weekend.
All right. Well, it should be a good couple days here of ball, and keep it locked here to Group Chat Sports. Stay tuned. We'll be
shout out to Real Madrid.
You see it, league champs, and keep it locked. We're going to be dropping our social media pages this week as well. Find us there for picks, clips. I mean, listen, we're going to brag about our wins. I don't know if we'll be bragging about our losses. I don't know if we'll be highlighting those, but hopefully plenty of picks and weekends like we just had last weekend, and should be a fun couple days here, Chase. Yep. Appreciate you as always. Group Chat Sports.
Let's have some fun, baby. Let's win some money.